Well, thank you for joining us. So Stacy sent out an email to our team earlier in the week that we're doing like kind of open enrollment for child accounts to lands, and quite a few of our agents have an account, but then quite a few don't. And so I wanted to just do an informational call on what y'all provide, agent resources within it, and what potential benefits of membership there is. And then that way agents have a better knowledge of if they want to get their own account or not. So thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time this morning.
Oh, absolutely. And I see that Richmond is on the phone, and is Stacy on too?
I don't see Stacy.
Yeah, I don't think Stacy will be here.
Okay. Well, so I was just going to say, since I talk to y'all the most often, please, if there's something that you want me to cover that we don't cover, then just, shout out, tell me. And then I wanted to introduce Austin Moore. He is with CoStar, and he and land.com. And one thing that a lot of folks don't seem to really grasp the concept of is one of our benefits, which is retargeting. So I thought if just for his time, if we could start with one of the benefits of retargeting, and then that way we can let him go and we can continue on. Is that okay with everyone? Does that work?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, I'm going to turn that over to you then, Austin. I guess I'll give a little intro. So currently y'all have an account that's in the top tier. We call it our signature tier. And so y'all's listings are showing up in the top, say, 5% of search results. The only things that appear above that would be any ads like for feature listings. We have 3 different ad types that go above our listing tiers. They're priced at a price point that are so that people aren't purchasing them, and pushing y'all down further. And then in the signature tier, as well as with our ads, we call them our enhancement ads, the diamond, platinum, and gold. They are subject to retargeting. So we put money back in to make sure that your listings follow people around. And so that's where I'm going to give Austin the intro to talk about retargeting and how it really works.
Hi, y'all. Thanks for meeting with me today. I've been working at Land for almost 4 years in March, and it's been handling anything that has to do with digital marketing. And I want to talk to you guys about just like, if anything, like every single channel that we do retargeting for at Land, in addition to like any type of like just marketing that we do here at Land too. The first would be like for Google search. I'd say Google ads, that wouldn't really count as like our retargeting, but it also just gets more users to your properties page. It starts off with just like going straight to the search results page with like what Ann just mentioned, like the signature is just being like on the top 4 being listed. But like say for Kentucky, it'd say like the top 4 listings in Kentucky on that page. From there, we go to like just Facebook or just paid social retargeting. So anything that has to do with like Facebook or Instagram retargeting, if somebody clicked or just happened to be on your property's page, they will be seeing that property a couple more times that day. Not just that day, but like in the next couple of weeks. We try to reach people as many times as possible and try to be as specific as possible. And if they're just looking at that property, it's also like definitely possible that we'll show them other properties in that range. Say like we'll stick with it was like Austin, Texas. They'll see other properties around that range they'll see other properties in that range in Austin, Texas, around that price and around that size, or just like the number of acres. Another thing for going over to like just Facebook and Instagram, we do a little bit of prospecting. So we do show like these properties like from people that like just like highly targeted that are interested in these and looking for like these properties. And also for display, let's say it's like for website retargeting, we have how you would say that, pretty much if you're going on Yahoo News and you're just scrolling on your page, you'll see like an ad that says like for land.com. From that, it would be like a property page, or just like from your property, and sending it straight to your listing on land.com. Do you have any questions from those?
Is that only for the paid ads through land that y'all do retargeting, or is that just anybody that's interacting on land that get retargeted?
Anybody that's interacting on land, they do or we do retargeting, but it only goes for signature ads or signature properties and up. Like, we don't do retargeting for standard properties.
Do y'all have analytics then y'all could send us back on that we could share with for like seller updates and things? Is there like a monthly report or anything like that?
So, hey, I can answer that question. Anyone with a child account can go in and access the analytics from their account to share, print out and share. So it's already built into the
Oh, nice.
their user interface.
Very cool.
And I know we kind of did this a little out of order, so I'm sorry if it's confusing, but I did want to get the retargeting expert. You know, for me, I just call it Big Brother because it follows you around. But I just wanted to make sure, because we know it takes about 7 impressions for somebody to act. And so we just want you to know that, you know, you're paying a premium price, we understand, but we're also reinvesting that money to make sure that when people leave the site, that if they have looked at your properties, that they are also going to see them again and again and try to draw them back. Our whole goal is just to get the right eyeballs, the most eyeballs, but the right eyeballs on your properties that you list. And did you have anything else you think, Austin? I mean, I'm going to go into, I guess, just the, you know, our 3 different sites and why we have 3. So we have land.com, which is really kind of our flagship, and we talk about the land.com network. And Richmond mentioned that there's a back office way to get in and look at analytics. So we talk about it in a sense that it's just one network, but we really have 3 sites. So it's my understanding, and you can tell me if, because you've been here longer than I have, Austin, but my understanding is we were going to, just like homes.com, apartments.com have one place to land, they were going to do that same thing with land.com. And as they purchased other sites, other websites, they were going to funnel them all into land.com, which used to be Lands of Texas. And what was determined after looking at it is that it's better to have more dogs in the fight in that first, when you go in and put in like Lands of Texas, or, you know, land for sale in Texas, and you put that into Google, it's better to have, instead of just one pop-up of land.com, to have our other 2 sites pop up as well. Plus, we realized that they had unique traffic. So you know how people save things on their desktop and into their favorites. And so Land and Farm has a lot of traffic that comes from outside of the Texas area. And LandWatch had different traffic coming in than, say, that on Lands of Texas. So essentially, whenever you advertise with us and you put your listing on, it's going into 3 different sites. So it's LandWatch, Land and Farm, and land.com. But we just talk collectively about land.com. The same goes with ads and retargeting. If someone's looking on land.com or Land and Farm, it's also being retargeted. It's just, we talk in just a general term. So hope that helps explain that. Did I do it right, Austin? Is that about
Totally.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely missed that. If someone lands and sees something on LandWatch, they are getting retargeted, and we'll send them that same property, but on land.com. Just to add to that. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And so I know that the intent of the call is really to talk a little bit deeper about why you would want to have a child account. So essentially, we're the number one with our 3 sites traffic. You're going to get the most eyeballs on properties. And the retargeting is something that we do that is also very unique. But we know that in a larger brokerage, that instead of just like we used to years ago, just either put the broker or the logo next to the listing, and then that listing or a call would come in, and then it would have to be kind of farmed out to whomever actually carries that listing. So we came up with what we call child accounts, so that everyone in the organization has access to their own properties to take a look at. And like Richmond had said earlier, then you'll have visibility to how many views your properties have had, how many clicks they've had, how many went to your website, etc. And then in addition, you can pull comps. You can set up your own searches. So you can put in which counties you're looking for based on what your sellers or buyers are wanting. And you can keep up with what's when a price changes or what's coming on the market that's new. So there's a lot of stuff in the back office that you're able to have access to without having to say go through Richmond or Stacy or Lisa and say, how's my property doing? In addition, your picture and your bio will be on our main site. So on the land.com site and the other 2 as well, it'll have like an agent. You can say find an agent, and so you'll want your picture there and your bio, so that if someone doesn't have representation, they can go in and read about you there. So, man, I could talk for 2 hours about all of our benefits, but I don't want to keep y'all. I mean, Lisa and Richmond, are there things that you feel like you want us to talk more in depth about?
Because I don't have access to land.com, like I don't have an account myself because I'm not an agent. I think for me, it's not only how it can help you grow your business, but the benefits of the seller and the exposure. So maybe you could email me sort of some overall analytics on that part that I could share with the team as far as, the traffic and the amount of people that are on y'all's website and things like that. Because to me, it's also like how we're providing the best platform for the client's property.
Gotcha. And actually, it's funny that you say that, because I just put in an order yesterday asking to get our brochure available for our agents to take in and talk to sellers about why listing with you as an agent that's on our land.com network is a benefit. I mean, we get the monthly network site visits between the 3 sites are anywhere from 12 million. There's quite a few people that will, I don't like to talk about leads. So I talk more in terms of we're getting the eyes there, because we have those people that will, sit up at night and search our sites, and then they already have someone that they're working with. And so they'll screenshot it, or they'll send them the property and say, hey, will you look into this for me? And then your agent that's representing the seller will get a call and never know where it came from. And I think sometimes the potential buyer doesn't even know where they saw it, because they just Googled and landed on our sites and were looking. So I do like to point out that you do have leads that come in, that you can get them through our website, also through calls. And then sometimes there's a portion on there where you can email the agent. But I would say most of the time we hear that they kind of come in through the back door. So we like to talk more about views and how many people are actually coming in, looking at the site, and then potentially going to your website. If they click on the property, then there's their ability to go directly into your website, and then they can contact you from there. So we have lots of email subscribers. You know, you can be on land.com or Landwatch and Land and Farm just as a looker, which is probably, Lisa, the ability that you have, as we all do. But for that back office, you do need to have a membership.
I have a couple people texting me for questions too. They're
Okay.
some are driving to a ranch. Leanne asked, is there any tips or tricks for entering listings to gain more exposure, like enhanced photos, keywords in the listing description, anything that you've seen that just might be a little nugget that you could share with us on tips and tricks on that side?
Absolutely. And Austin, back me up on this. I'm going to go through the scorecard for the most part. But essentially, we were asked that not too long ago. And so, like, when you're in like y'all are in the signature tier, and let's just say all of us on this call are in the signature bucket, and we all have property in Gillespie. So Krista is not going to have the top spot every time. And then Austin isn't going to have the bottom spot every time. There's going to be, you know, you're in a bucket and you're rotating. But to answer the question, yes, there are things that can help you. And so per our algorithm, if you have 20 or more pictures with your property, that's going to help you. I mean, you don't have to have 80, but 20 or more will get you higher up in that bucket per se. You also, I know with MLS, they have a character cutoff of 1,200. But we say we want more description. The better the description, the more information you can give the buyer, the more likely that they'll, you know, reach out. So we say 1,500 characters, not words, but 1,500 characters. So if you're just copying and pasting what you've done on MLS, you're already going to be under because you'll still need to add 300 characters, spaces, etc. One thing that I tell folks is if you don't have anything else to say about barren land, it's hard to get 20 pictures, repeat some pictures if you have to, it doesn't matter. But in addition, if it's really hard to come up with text for that, then go ahead and just put your bio at the bottom or just something about Legacy at the bottom paragraph, and that will give you enough. Because I know sometimes you can't talk too much just about a tract. But then, you know, we work with, we can embed Vimeo and YouTube videos. A lot of people don't do videos of their property, but even if you add a video of yourself talking about yourself and how long you've been an agent, and you put that on each of your listings, that will give you a little bit of a boost up in the algorithm. There's a place on the back end where you can check that you want to get text leads. And so if you check that box on your child account, and that way that will give you not just email leads, but also text leads, and that will boost drone footage. If you wanted to do like a virtual tour, that helps. I will tell you that's probably the least used one of all. All right, Austin, what did I miss?
I say the new feature would be the profile photo and having it to the exact dimensions that they request.
Okay, yeah. So we're updating our age find an agent page, and so we're having to go back to clients that have been here a while and say we need a clearer picture. We need a little bit more information. And, you know, it's also nice to refresh. I've been doing this with a lot of folks lately. They're like, wait, I don't have 20 years experience. I have 28, you know? And so, you know, going back and rereading your bio and not just assuming it's, you know, freshened up, that'll help as well. Okay. More questions, Lisa?
Hey, I'll real quick, just, I'm going to throw this out for Lisa. If any of y'all want to learn how to do a lead parsing from Lands of Texas, homes.com, et cetera, that will redirect the lead information into your CRM, we can have a special day, and I'll show you how using Zapier or other kind of low coding deals can do that for you. And then I have a question. I'm going to kind of put y'all on the spot, Ann and Austin. When is CoStar going to start bundling packages together with LoopNet, Lands, and Homes? Y'all better get on the ball, because Crexi is going for your jugular right now, and they are impressing the crap out of me. I'm just saying, it's getting competitive, and I don't think you're going to be able to take those guys down like you did the last group that made a run at you. So what say you?
You know, telling us information like this, and the more we hear it, the more we take it to the top. I mean, you're not the first to say it, and we have mentioned it quite a few times, obviously now with Homes being a part of it. So we have LoopNet, CoStar, homes.com, and apartments.com, and, you know, obviously land.com, as well as some others. But yes, we talk about it all the time. I will tell you, they listen. Now, granted, it's a lot easier when it's just within land for a decision to be made. So this one goes a little bit higher. So I think that's going to take some more work. I don't know where they are on that, but we can definitely get you an answer. I mean, personally, it makes total sense, because we're all trying to pull from the same brokerage, and you've got commercial, and you've got, you know, you're not just most folks aren't just in one area. And so I think it makes perfect sense. One thing that we did change recently, because we talked about how it was very important. So we're kind of that squeaky wheel out here. We did, and I can't recall, I'm not looking at your contract right now, but when you have an ad, like let's say you have your listing plan, so you have 50 listings, and you decide this one's one I really want to feature. I want it to go up to the top of the search results, and you purchase either a diamond ad, which is like a half-page ad that goes on all 3 of our sites, as well as the platinum ad, which is a little smaller, and then a gold ad. Those used to count against your listing plan. So let's say you had 50 and you did 3 ads, then you would have only, the signature would only give you 47 spots, and then we would move that particular property or those 3 properties up to an ad spot, and you can use them like parking spaces. So you own the ad spot, and so you can just move properties in and out. Especially with the platinum and gold. With diamond, you have to wait 90 days, and we help control that. But it was taking away from how many listings you could list. So now, like let's say you have the 3 ads, you have 53. So you have 50 spots still in your signature, and then you will have the 3 ads that you can use at your discretion. So we do listen, is my point. It's a lot easier to make changes internally and within land. We're a little bit smaller, but CoStar, we've got their ear, but I just don't know how long it's going to take. Austin, you'll take it to your people and I'll take it to mine. How's that?
And I know, yeah, they are actively working on it. I can't speak to LoopNet as much, but I know that they are working on building their relationship MLS wise with the homes.
All right, Lisa.
So and Richmond is our IT guru of all things also, but Kyle Ritter's asking, you know, land doesn't integrate with our CRM because our CRM is MLS fed and integrated. Do you see that changing at all with with lands that where it could run through MLS syndication and integration?
So I'm not your most tech savvy either. So Austin, do you understand? I'm not
So like
following the question.
if we put a land and ranch on lands, it's not going to integrate and show back on our website. We have to also enter it in our local MLS to get that. But there's just, and Richmond can speak to it, there's just kind of a disconnect with land and ranch and residential MLS. It's kind of like square peg, round hole. It doesn't quite speak the same language.
Well, I think what you're asking about, Kyle, is there a way to get a RETS or IDX feed from lands.com specifically? And I had this conversation with y'all probably 12 or 15 years ago. And the answer then was no. And the illustration was given to me of I guess a brokerage in Austin that figured out how to scrape the data and then display it as an IDX feed on their site. And I believe CoStar sued them into oblivion based on violation of the user agreement. So a couple of things. A lot of people do not want their land transactions showing up on the market. Not that it would feed into an MLS, but I don't know if there's something like that y'all are thinking about in the future, but having some sort of IDX feed that's a standalone that comes from lands that would syndicate out to websites would be a great benefit to us as subscribers to the service.
I'm writing that down. I sit next to like the majority of our product team, and that's definitely a question for them. So just to make sure that I get this right, is you're asking to integrate data from the MLS IDX feed, and that was
No. Forget
Okay.
forget MLS. Let's not muddy the waters.
Okay.
Let's consider land.com as being an MLS. Let's think of y'all conceptually as an MLS or a realtor association. Could you provide a data feed that we could then display listings from land.com on our website? That's the question.
Okay. Yeah, I'll ask them that. That's a good question.
We'll get
Right now, if someone goes to our Legacy Broker Group website, all the data and property searches that get pulled come from MLS. So even though,
Yeah, to clarify, that it comes from a data formatted feed known as IDX or RETS, RETS or IDX. So what we're asking for is for land.com to consider formatting data in that fashion that we could then subscribe to display on our website.
because as far as we know, and again, Richmond, we're, I think we're trying to get to the same thing. Most real estate websites that brokerages get are geared more towards residential. And so since we do residential, commercial, all the things, we sometimes have IT hiccups along the way, trying to have the most properties available for people to search, so that John Smith that's going to buy a house in downtown Austin also wants to look at land and ranches in West Texas. And the information we can provide him through our brokerage website isn't as robust because we can't plug and play with lands to provide it all in one spot. And so we'd love to have a more comprehensive website where they can see all things, especially when we're paying for membership with lands. We would love for that to feed through our website also.
Gotcha. All right. I wrote it down, and I think Austin, you've got better ears right near you. So I'll take it through my channels and you do the same, and then we'll get back with you on an answer for that.
And if y'all have questions or need back-end support of what that looks like, or Richmond to send you a blurb of that specifically, we're happy to do that too, because that would help our statewide footprint a lot, because different parts of our state do more land and ranch and some of our agents do more residential, and that would be like the Super Bowl win of all Super Bowl wins if we could get that figured out.
Gotcha. I think I need Richmond to come set up my office. That's what it sounds like. Okay, what other questions does anyone have?
That's all that came through on text for me, but this was very informative and it did offer a little insight for what agents can get. I'll send a synopsis, but would you mind sending me that brochure you talked about? Because that would be great for us to include in our listing presentations to sellers. And then if you mentioned a scorecard that you were reading the ways to enhance listing input. Is that something you could send me to? Do you have a snapshot of that?
You know what? That scorecard is on our end, but I'll send you a snapshot and then I can
Okay.
also go through and give you the information on that as well. So
Okay, that would be fantastic.
that's easy. And then as far as the brochure, I'll send you the one that we have currently that you can use digitally or, you can print it off. But I am working on getting y'all your own that you can take into meetings that are, a little bit nicer than just the paper copy that
Yeah, and we can have our marketing director put a spin on that too. And then also you mentioned that if you opt in to get text leads, is that just like in their agent profile when they're setting that up? That's just like an easy thing to toggle off and on.
Yes. And then also when you set up, I know Richmond said that he would do some sort of a training for how to merge your CRM with land.com, but also on that same day, we could have someone from Austin or one of us come on and also talk you through all the benefits of the child account while you have it on your screen and kind of how to use it. So we could do an onboarding session for people that already have it or, those new ones, whichever.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all's time, Ann and Austin. And then if y'all have other questions that y'all aren't sure about, let me know and we can send another email out. So
Awesome.
anybody have anything else?
Just text me your email address, Lisa, and I'll make sure that I've got that. And okay, perfect.
Yes, ma'am. All
Thank
right, well,
y'all.
thank y'all. And I recorded this call too. So if there's something that you missed, you want to replay, I'll be posting it in our group page in a little bit. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great day.
All right, you too. Thanks.
you.
Bye.